Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine's Craft. I hope you are well. All good in our house. We're all back and fit and well. Now, really quick, lovely little project for you today. It's all about the autumnal colours, and I'm going to show you how. If you've got stamps, you can make one background. If you haven't, you could make a different background, but whichever background you choose to make, you're going to be able to make a lovely autumnal card. I'm going to pull it out so you can see. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Really, really fitting for the season with that lovely background, little bit of twine and all those gorgeous leaves. I hope you like that. Let's see how it's made. When I start putting cards together, I always think to myself, why am I making this card? Or what am I hoping to achieve with this card? This card, the purpose of this project is to show you two different ways to create a stunning background, both in the same colourways, given a similar effect, but created in different ways. But also how to put together a card nice and quickly, again, using minimal supplies, that is absolutely perfect for the season. So as we head into autumn, I thought I would use my Paper Discovery leaves, and this is the Bountiful Harvest and the Harvest Leaves die set. So I thought we'd have a go with these, and I'm only using the one leaf. I don't know if it hasn't got a name, so it's the one leaf, and we're just going to use that one. And I've cut it out 3 times, but here it is cut out of something as simple as craft card. Nothing fancy at all. So I'll show you the others in just a minute. And all I'm just going to do is I'm going to get my leaf, and then I'm going to get some ink. So the inks I'm going to be playing with today, sorry about the tickling cough, are these 4 colours. I've got Grasshopper, Fire Brown, Orange and Honey Pot. And I'm going to use them in a variety of ways. I'm going to use them with my daubers. So I'm going to start with my orange, and I'm going to pick some up, and I'm just going to put a little bit on. Just like that. There's no right, there's no wrong. Now, what I do love with Fire Brown, I love craft card, but I do like it with a little bit of ink on. So I'm going to lift up a bit, and I'm going to put it onto there. So basically, I more or less covered this with ink. I can still see my craft card through, but I can see other bits as well. So I'm just going to blend out that orange. So it's giving it a little bit of an autumnal feel, and you can see how it's changed the colour at the end. And if you want to, you could maybe even get a little bit of green and add that in. It just changes the colours. I mean, look at that. I mean, it just lifts it. If you look at that side, craft card to all that, so much more interesting with those extra colours on, isn't it? And then, as I said, I've done the same with some green. I have put a little bit of ink on that. You can't see it. It's not really a green that's taken ink. And then I've done it with the yellow, and can you see? Actually, I think I might put a little bit more on here. I've got a little bit of green in the middle, and then I've got a little bit of orange around the very tips. Just keep it right round the tips, and then you've got the yellow coming through as well, so you could blend all that. I'm just going to blend that a little bit. Just use my finger just there. Right, so you've got all of those colours, so it's looking absolutely stunning. Actually, I'm just going to grab my yellow. I'm going to grab a dauber, and I'm just going to get a little bit of yellow. I'm not liking, you know, I've been fiddling with that now. I just want to sort of blend some of those out a little bit. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't pay to fiddle. Okay, so those are my leaves, and that is all I'm going to use to decorate the front of my card, those 3 leaves. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and then I'm going to bring in a piece of watercolour card. So this is just regular white watercolour card, 5x7, and I've just used my Alter New masking tape. I've shown you this one so much before. It's more like a satin tape. I really do like it, and I've not measured it. I've just put it on. I've not pressed too hard at all. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get a stamp in that, just because I think I get a better finish, and my masking tape's caught. So I'm going to put my stamping mat down. I'm going to put that on, and then I've got a couple of stamp sets, and I'll show you what these are. So this one is one from one of my signature collections, and I've got all these paint splats. So my theory was, when I put this together, I wanted some nice background, so you can see why I did brickwork, and then I did like a crackle glaze. You can see it on there. But this one was, I wanted to be able to do paint splats in a controlled manner. So this is what they would look like once they're painted. And then this one is a rare earth, just a background one. So you've got script on there, and then you've got some textures. I don't know where that one is. And then you've got some more paint splats. But these are, if you look at my paint splats, if I turn it over, mine are quite like big splats. These are just like individual ones. So I've just taken a whole load off there. There's a few more on there, and they're actually just sitting on this rocker block at the moment. You can see them all on there. So I'm just going to pop them, I'm going to turn them ready to stamp because it'll show you. And what I'm going to do, I want to be able to go as random as I possibly can, which, as we all know, random's not easy. So I've got a couple of rocker blocks. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up two, put one there and one there, try and make sure that they're different. Then I'm going to pick up an ink and I'm going to pop them onto here. Now I find that sometimes with some of my rocker blocks I can tend to get the ink on the edges, so it is sometimes worth just running it round because you don't want a stripe of colour. And then I'm just going to stamp, and there you go. I've got a controlled paint splat. Let's do the next one. I'm going to still stick with the yellow, just run that round. I can see there was ink on there, that's worth doing. And then I'm just going to go like that. So at some point I'm going right onto the masking tape, so I'm just going to put that to one side. Let's get another rocker block, let's get some more, get a couple more. Let's do a big and a little. Let's go green this time. So I'm just randomly putting a space between them. I'm trying to make sure that they're not, you know, I've not always put like 5 centimeters between them, you know, 2 inches, trying to make it different. So then let's go, I do keep turning it round so that I can do different angles. Let's go like that. So we've now got a green splat. And the whole point is I want them to be as random as I can. Now, you know, that's not easy sometimes. You don't have to do 2 at a time. I'm just trying to speed it up a little bit. But it also means I can't overthink about it. Right, take those off. Let's go that one, and oh, they're quite big. Let's see how far we can get with those. And then I'm going to go in the orange. When I come on this bigger rocker block, I know I'm not getting ink on the bars, so I don't need to wipe it off. Let's go here. I'm so sorry about my tickly cough. This is just the tail end of being poorly. I'm not poorly at all now. Just if I'm concentrating, I start coughing, which is really silly. And then we can come in. Let's go round here. And if you do want just one, let's do that one as a single. We can come in with a single. Let's go down, let's go there. And I think we need some more greens. Let's do some different ones as green. I haven't done that one yet. Let's fill in some gaps. I've got a good gap there. There we go. And I need one down here. Let's do that one, but do it in orange. And try to do a different angle to that. There you go. Oh, that's got a lot of ink on. Better just leave that to dry. What can I put here? Maybe I could get I had some nice little ones which are quite handy to do as well. Can you see how it's just building it up? Let's do a yellow one there. And then we can do, what wants to go there? Sometimes I look and I think, oh, I can't work out what needs to go there. Let's go green. Now, a lot of this is going to be covered up, so please don't overthink it. But it's just a different way to do it. I need some orange just down here. It's amazing how when you change the colour of the, that orange ink pad is really juicy. When you change the colour of the ink pad, it really does change the look. Let's go. No, that's the same as that one. Don't want that one there. Take that off. Let's put that on there. Changed my mind. Changed my mind. Let's do that one. I'm going to do that one in the green. There we go. And put it in here. it's just about filling. I need something here. I'm not sure what colour yet. Sometimes I find a three-way colour is quite difficult. Sometimes you need 4, so don't be afraid to bring in a 4th. If I was doing this, I would be bringing in like my fire brown or something. Right, I think that'll do. I've not got many gone off the edge on this one, but you can go off the edge as much or as little as you like. So let's move that. Right, so I mentioned about doing different backgrounds. So you've seen that. So let's just take this off so we can see. So again, you'll see this is why I love this masking tape. It comes off so easily. You know, if you haven't pressed down overly hard, it acts as a really good mask, but it doesn't rip your cardstock. So that's lovely, because that's what you want. You don't want to do all that hard work and then ruin it. But actually, the only person that notices it usually is you. So don't overly worry about it. So that's my one background. Now, using exactly the same inks, if you haven't got those background stamps or anything similar, I created this one. Again, you can see I masked it off, and all I did was I puddled my ink and then splattered it, and I actually used this paintbrush. I just picked up the ink and then splattered it, just like that. So you could have this background. You might like that one. I think that's quite nice. I quite like the delicacy of that, and I like the individual little splats of that. Or you've got that one. It's entirely up to you. So whichever one you pick, I'll do it on this one just so that you can see. What I would then do is I'd get a fine liner pen. And you've seen me do these so many times. And we're going to do a frame around it or a border. So we go round once. Try not to go too slow, because I think you overthink about it. And you know, you over plan. I think you get much better results if you just let it go through. It doesn't matter that it sort of went over the top there. That's the whole point, is it's supposed to be freehand. Like I say, I've said before, if you want to do straight line borders, then you can get your ruler out, but they need to be really straight. So I've just put a little double border on there. And I'll show you this one that I put a double border on there as well. So, you know, whichever way you want to go. Then I thought we'll add a little bit of texture. So I put a couple of pieces of, what have I put? Sticks 2 red liner on. And I'm going to pop them off the back. Just like that. And then we're going to just grab this. Now, sometimes if you don't do it perfectly straight, it can look a bit of a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to purposely not do them even, just like that. So I'm going to do, let's do a third one, just through there. So just different heights, different widths, you know. So, you know, try to make sure it's not the same. Oh, look at that. And that last piece then just pinged. So if you're a bit worried about that happening, turn it back. Put it back over. Then grab your red liner tape. Oh, you can't see. Sorry. And then we're going to put the red liner tape back over, just over the top. And I'm not going to take the backing off, but that's going to hold everything down and stop all of that. Because at the moment that could just lift up, and we don't want that to lift up in transit or anything. Make sure you're happy with where they are. Oops, nearly went through my nail there. Now, if I try to put that onto my card base, it's going to have a bulge here. You can see if I press it down, it bulges just here because it's got the thickness behind. So my way to get round that, handy sticks 2 tape. Now if I put that on there, it's just a bit thicker than the twine. I'm going to cut a piece off, and then I'm going to come up here. 1. And another one, a third one, and then what I would do is along the bottom I'd put my 4th piece. Now, could I have actually done that more accurate? Look at that. That was just randomly, that was pretty impressive. So we've got that there, and what I might want to do is get another piece of twine. I want to bring my crossover point to the end, just slide it over with your hand. It'll cross over at whatever point you want it to. I'm going to lift this up and then, come on, go back into there. Actually, I don't know why I'm so concerned, because actually there's no room for that. I've done a sentiment. No. Scrap that plan. Don't need that. Okay, so we've got that there. We're not going to actually see that much of it. So put that there, and I've got myself a card base. So my card base is just under 8 inches long. So yeah, it's going to be a specified sort of envelope that you're going to need to do. 10-fold, as you know, that I always do. And I've stuck some craft card onto there. And then I've got some green, and I've just put a white layer on because I do like the effect of the white. Now, when you see that, I have gone really only just to 1/8 of an inch, just to give it that little hint. I really do like a skinny border. If you want to do 1/4 of an inch, then go for it. It's whatever makes you happy. But for me, it works really well. So yeah, I just think this is such a pretty card, and it's so easy to do. And you can, you know, create it with the minimal supplies, not just the minimal card, but minimal, you know, if you don't have stamps, then just use inks with a paintbrush, you know, and a bit of water. As long as there's sort of one that reacts to water, you know, you could use your oxides, you could, you know, your water reactives, or you could even just get a little bit. Have you got a watercolour palette? Well, I could have done these. I'd never thought. I could have done these with my Spark Shimmer watercolour palette. That would have looked beautiful, wouldn't it? But never mind, we've done it like this now. So I've got that there, and then I'm going to pop this one on as well. So we're going to take the back off the tape. And we know it's going to sit nice and flat because we've raised the tape just slightly above the height of the string. And then we're not going to take that off because that's just there to hold it down. And we'll put this on here. I'm going to ask you all a question now. How far has anyone got thinking about Christmas? Now, today, the day this video goes live, is my turning point for Christmas. Today is my eldest daughter's birthday, Hannah. So happy birthday to Hannah. It's her birthday today. And I always say I am not thinking about Christmas until we've had Hannah's birthday. So after today, I'm going to start thinking about cards and about presents and, you know, planning things like that. So yeah, have you started thinking about Christmas, or you're not there yet? Not yet. Or do you have a deadline? Do you go, I don't know, beginning of November? I'm not putting a tree up or trimming or anything like that. Just thinking about Christmas presents and all the rest of it. Yeah, just be interested to know. So then I've got my 3 leaves. Now it's entirely up to you how you arrange them. You could be arranging them different ways. You could be, you know, putting them on in different patterns. So you could see quite a lot. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to find a way that works for me. So I'm just going to get that piece of card that I had, and I'm going to actually turn one over, and I'm going to find a dotty tape pen. There it is. So we're going to go, let me just come back in and decide what I'm actually going to do before I put tape on, shall I? So if we go craft card first, then we can go yellow. No, I'm not. I'm going to go green next because I'm going to put a green tag on, and then I'm going to go, I think, just like that. There you go, you can see. Doesn't that look effective? So I need to start with my craft one first. So dotty tape. If you are organised, you can put double-sided adhesive on the back of your card before you cut it, and that would work beautifully. And then we can put one on. Watch it, because I've made that sticky. What did I say next? Green next. I'm not too fussy about having the whole thing stuck down because I do like sometimes with that little bit of movement. It's entirely up to you. So let's go next one just there. And then my third one, which is my yellow. And when you turn it over, you can see how far you've come with changing the colour. If you look, it looks so different, doesn't it? And then my third one is going to go just there. Now, I've already shown you I've got a sentiment, and this is it. We're finished. We're not going to go in with anything else. And can you see why you don't need to overly worry about your background? Now, what I'm going to do is see if my 3D glue actually works. I'm going to put a bit of 3D. I put foam pads on the back, but I'm going to put some 3D glue on because I'm going on top of the string. And what I want is I want it to sort of self-level. And I find that the glue works really well. And that is all you need to do. Now, if you want to go in with some little gems, you could be going in with some little gems, but I'm not going to do that. I've got this. So I've done the same border around my sentiment, just found a sentiment. I've matte and layered it on the same green. I didn't want to do all the layers. I didn't think it needed it. But we've just gone with our leaves. Let's make sure that is stuck down. Just stick them down in the middle. Make sure they're nicely stuck down in the middle, but then the edges still lift a little bit, because I quite like that. All a little bit inked. I've done the background. If you wanted to change it, remember, you could have done the background using the splats, which was exactly the same. But I've sort of done that controlled version with my stamps, which I really, really love. And that is my, what I call autumn or fall birthday card. I really, really like that. I just think it's really nice, and it's just appropriate to the season. Nice and thrifty, as you know we like to do it. Just using what we've got in a stash. When you haven't got it in your stash, then you make it work yourself. So anyway, I hope you like that. I hope I haven't upset anybody by thinking about Christmas, but yeah, we are getting there. But until the next time, happy crafting, my friend. Oh, and don't forget to drop me your entries for this month's colour challenge. I would love to see those. And don't forget to look on the links down at the bottom. So until next time, my friends, happy crafting. Enjoy whatever you are making. And please don't forget to tag me in any cards you're inspired to make. So for now, bye for now. You take care, and I'll speak to you all very soon.